In today's video, we're going to have a look at some stocks that are going to do well. We're going to look at how we've performed on the week. We're going to talk about the current market conditions. For the last 4 weeks, I've been saying this week, this is the big earnings week that's going to send the whole market back down. The run that we have had, take advantage of it, all these things. We've so much to get through in this video. What's the crack, everyone? Welcome back to Buy Wholesale. I hope, of course, you are all well. I actually had a great weekend. I was out on Friday and I put it into my Discord. I was actually with Michael Forsese.
In 1986, Fortune magazine listed Michael as number 18 on the list of the 50 most wealthy and powerful mafia bosses. Vanity Fair cited him as one of the biggest money earners for the mafia since Al Capone.
Huge. If anyone watched Goodfellas, this guy is referenced in it. Got to chat with him. Lovely guy, 72 years old, and out of the 50 mall people from the 1970s, he is only one of two that remain. 48 are now dead and one is in jail. So it was a fascinating insight to the whole mobster lifestyle. But he made some great points. He pretty much said to be successful, you have to be able to continue to go on and have setbacks. And I think that's summed up the stock market perfectly. I also put in my Discord that I was speaking to a member who spent 40,000 on Greg Secker's course. You'll have seen this guy on every friggin' ad that comes on. It's him talking about his trading course. He's a brilliant salesman, orange, white teeth, looks the part, waistcoats, looks the business. This guy is charging people £40,000 for a trading course, and I can tell you, he's not telling you anything that's not in my trading course. So there's my plug. Get down, check out my trading course for a very reasonable fee of £100. But unbelievable insight, great meeting, and I got invited to it from my friend Card Frampton. Great people, great company, and that's another thing that I'd always say to people. You know, to better yourself, you've got to surround yourself with better people, passionate people, driven people, and that is also something that I do. And I have to say that works phenomenally well to keep trying to push yourself. Like-minded people always push yourself further. So that's just a wee bit of a side topic. I like to try and do that from time to time. We have a lot to get through in this video today, so I'm just going to kick it off by looking at the heat map. As you can see, the heat map for last week was a majority of green. We still have some big boys pulling back, the likes of Google. But generally speaking, the FANG stocks had a good run. Tesla obviously smashed it with 14%. Amazon was really strong. Real pullbacks have come from the stocks that have been performing well up until maybe the last few weeks, and that's like the likes of the healthcare, utilities sector, their consumer staples, and hence there's been a bit of a flip around reversal. Now we have seen prices of oil go down, we've seen prices of commodities in general go down. Things that are overinflated have been pulling back, and that has obviously been received in a positive manner. It looks to be that inflation is perhaps under control for now. We know that the data that comes out lags, so when you're seeing inflation's at a new high, you could almost predict that the next reading will be down. We have reached the peak of inflation for now. Anyway, that would be the sentiment. So the markets are reacting positive. As we say, the charts don't lie. But what we did have on Friday, unfortunately, was a red day. It's okay over the course of a week to have one red day, but the market sentiment perhaps is turning. And the reason I believe, and I have been saying for the last 4 weeks, giving you the countdown, being prepared for it, is that this is going into the big earnings week. Earnings so far, in my opinion, have actually been relatively strong. Tesla did their earnings on Wednesday, and I don't think it was particularly an outstandingly great earnings report, but it was better than what the expectations were, and they still done remarkably well. Their projections, 50% year-on-year growth, all those things are still intact. So for me, as I always say, is they are the best performing stock, in my opinion, coming forward. They're almost as safe as you can get because they're in the right sector that's going to prosper. Their order books are full. They can't meet the demand. There's so much going out. The only thing that's going to hinder them is the supply issues, and to be fair, they seem to be navigating those issues pretty well. So delighted with Tesla's gains. Look at some of the stocks that I talked about in the video for potential runners. These stocks are ones that had good momentum. These stocks have been doing really well, and I anticipated them to continue the run. And if we look at Beyond Meat, we can see that even with the Friday pullback, the best part of 10% up. Now, I didn't actually open up any trades in Beyond Meat. I did open up Artel Africa, which is currently up 5%. I opened up some AMD, which went up 8% on the week. I did mostly trade Applied Materials. This was a great winner, and I actually covered a lot of this in my Discord. Again, members of the Discord get this information, so there is the list. You had to pick any of these, you were up money on the week. Said about the prices, looking for a 98.5 target It went beyond 98.5, so we held more. I took some profits. Just a perfect swing trade. Lovely 10% over the week, in and out, taking profits as we went along. HIMS was another one. I only really swung it up until about here, so I kind of got out with about 8%. But that's okay with swing trades. As you know, my sentiment is in the market. I am nervy, so I'm content just jumping in and out of things, keeping that cash piled heavy. The Go EV was another one that I got into. It's just kind of gone sideways. I'm up only a couple of percent on that. So very happy with our swing trades. And if we actually look at how the week went, US market is rebounded this week despite a pullback on Friday, with the three major indices, the Dow up 2%, S&P gained 2.6%, Nasdaq 3.3%. So very, very strong week compared to what we've had recently. Treasuries rallied this week as growing fears of recession amid further tightening of the world's central banks lifted the appeal of safe haven assets. The yield on the 10-year Treasury note fell 13 basis points on Friday, closing the week at 2.78%. Meanwhile, oil prices ended the week lower, recording gains early in the week before declining as a result of lower domestic demand for gasoline. So I've also done videos where I've been saying months ago, the time to be buying your oil for your heating or whatever, you know, commodities you can buy right now for the winter. Do so, because I believe sort of now till maybe the middle of August is going to be your key time to be buying these kind of things. I know I'm going to be buying them. Next week will be a highly eventful one for the financial markets, featuring a multitude of corporate earnings reports from dozens of companies. The big boys, guys. This is the big boys. So we'll scroll down here. We can see our little chart, how it's changing. Not a lot's changed. Stocks have obviously rebounded quite a bit, so that has been good. Federal Open Market Committee on Tuesday and Wednesday. Fed officials are widely anticipated to raise rates by at least 75 basis points. So if that comes in higher, it's going to send the market down. And here is your events calendar. Tuesday, Microsoft, Alphabet, Coca-Cola, McDonald's. So I'm going to be very keen to see how the likes of GM and Electric General, these kind of things are going to be doing well, Enphase Energy, and I want to see how the consumer staples, because I sort of feel maybe getting out the next few weeks, I'm going to start rotating back into my consumer staples because the fears of recession, Dollar Tree, or Dollar General, although they have performed pretty well, we've been out of them for a while. I'm keen to get back into those. Wednesday's got our Facebook. T-Mobile, I'm interested to see about T-Mobile. I read an interesting article from AT&T saying people are starting to defer on their mobile phone bills. People can't afford bills. That is a first early sign of people with money issues, recession looming. Thursday, Apple, Amazon, MasterCard, and even Pfizer, I suppose, Intel, the big boys, Comcast. Keep an eye out for the reserve policy and the GDP estimate as well. There is a lot to digest this week, and this is why I've been doing the countdown. I do anticipate something to come out of here and send the markets down. Now, if that wasn't to be the case, and the reason perhaps we've got this rally, and we've been talking about it a lot in the Discord, about China and the Russia and Ukraine, all the chaos, will Africa be the next superpower? Some great stuff being put in there. I'm not going to read it all out, but something I want to talk about is the Russia-Ukraine situation. We've seen that they're going to start exporting wheat, all being well, but then all of a sudden the port that was meant to be doing that blew up on Friday. So then you're going, okay, so this was good positive news. Things are starting to loosen up. Gas supplies coming back to Europe. It looked like progress. I think that's what sort of rallied the market a bit more. But then where does all that sit? Can the Russians be trusted? Is this going to happen? There's a lot of uncertainty there. Definitely, in my opinion, the market's rallied a bit from some of the positive sentiment that's come out. So that gets better, could send the markets rallying, but if anything happens wrong, again, I could pull it back. Then we had this yesterday coming out from the WHO, monkeypox, which we've been covering in the stock. We actually got in the monkeypox stocks a couple of months ago, made some great money, currently out of all of those positions now. But the WHO declares spread of monkeypox an international public health emergency. So what is that going to do to the markets come Monday? We will wait and see. A lot of people are getting very excited, starting to buy, bringing their average prices down. I can't predict the future. I could be completely wrong, but I'm still staying in the same camp of I'm just sitting back. I'm going to let this next week or 2 week play out. I will assess come the end of the fortnight whether the predictions have been true. Trying to predict a market crash is not an easy thing, especially with a timeline. So these types of factors that have come out with Russia, Ukraine, monkeypox, those are spanners that were put in the works that I did not foresee a week ago. The S&P, how it has performed. And I don't want to be doom and gloom, but I want people to protect themselves. We can see we are up about 3% on the week. And if you look at this, we are still massively down from the highs, about nearly 17%. This is what I put into the Discord. We have seen rallies like this before. We've seen it in May. We've seen it rally 4% and then go down. Look at this rally in March. We've seen it rally nearly 9% and then it go down. Strong earnings could sound at the pop. The Ukraine situation calming down could sound at the pop a bit more, and perhaps we have turned a corner. I am prepared for it to go back down, and I'm just sitting cash heavy. Still buying into my shorts that we've covered on the channel, my S&P short, my Apple short, buying away, just nibbling away as an insurance policy, just in case. I'm very, very prepared for this. We have a look at Bitcoin now. We can see Bitcoin has had a great run over 22.5. Best run that it's been on for a while. You're going back as far as the 13th of June, so about 6 weeks ago before we were up at roughly these levels. And we can see on the week it's had about nearly a 10% rise. It has pulled back the last couple of days. Now the last couple of days is from the news of the monkeypox. It's also to do with the Ukraine bombing that's been going on. So there's been real negative sentiment. The positive sentiment that the market has seen right up until Friday, Bitcoin has dealt with the negative that has come out since then. So I would anticipate Monday for the markets to perhaps pull back on that news, but stranger things have happened. These earnings could change all of that, of course. In terms of my watch list, what stocks am I watching this week? If we look at Coral Minerals, what I really like about, again, another long stock, we've been talking about this and we've been topping it up in the Discord all around these levels, because usually it's been very, very strong support at this level. The last time we were below that, you're going back well over a year ago. So feels right to buy at those levels. MACD RSI looks strong, and we now have this buy symbol has come on. We're still below our 180-day moving average. And what I would be looking to see is this to push on come Monday. So I'm definitely keeping an eye on Coral. Tesla stock's been phenomenal. Did say in the Discord, if we can get above this level, then I sort of anticipate in and around a sort of an 860, 870 range in terms of taking profit. But if this market's going down, it's going to pull Tesla down. I will only be swing trading this week. Don't foresee me holding anything more than maybe a day or two. Just going to let the whole earnings period just play out. Stock market's never going away. I'm going to be investing for the next 40 odd years probably, or whatever it's going to be. I can miss one more week and I'm just going to see what way it plays out. So I would just be cautious. Keep an eye on the watch list. All the stocks that we talked about in the other video last week, they all remain. They're all still runners. So that is the video. If you're interested in learning how to trade, if you're interested in getting in the Discord, we've now got the monthly Patreon set up. Only set that up a few weeks ago. People are joining. Feel free to do so. Reasonable fee of £4. If you don't like it, well, you can just cancel anytime. Feel free to do that. The links are down there below. And also, I would check out this video. This is 4 reasons to not be invested in the stock market right now. I believe it's a good video, makes great points, so you can do your own due diligence as always. And if you're interested in supporting the channel for free, just like and subscribe, help the YouTube algorithm. I will catch you in the next video. I appreciate everybody that helps me. Thanks, cheers.